Knowing exactly what equipment you need to make beats will set you up for success and stop you spending money buying stuff that you don't need. This video is going to give you the knowledge you need to get the right equipment to get started. I'll outline the basics and the bare minimum equipment you need so you can become a music producer on a budget and start building your skills. Make sure you stay to the end because I'll also be revealing a way you can get FL Studio for free for 6 months. Stay tuned. Let's get into it. I'll leave links to everything that I mentioned in the description down below, so be sure to use those. First thing you need is a DAW. I personally use FL Studio. You may want to use something else. Some people use Studio One. I don't use that to produce. Some people use Logic, what have you, Cubase, and so on and so forth. Really big difference between DAWs is the way that they operate. So if you feel comfortable using one DAW, you should probably stick with that and learn how to use that to the best of your ability, because other DAWs usually don't add a lot of difference to the equation enough that it would make sense to switch from one that you already know the basics of to another one. But sometimes they do offer unique benefits. For example, FL Studio has its step sequencer, which makes everything easier to deal with for me personally. I like FL Studio. I've been practicing in FL Studio for a variety of years, so it makes sense for me to use FL Studio. But the first thing that you do need is a DAW, anything that allows you to produce music. I suggest FL Studio, link down below. Next thing you need are studio headphones. These are my Audio-Technica ATH M50X headphones. The reason why you want studio headphones and not just normal consumer facing headphones like Beats or any other normal headphones, like I've got my Sennheiser Bluetooth headphones over there that I use to actually listen to music. I wouldn't use those to mix my beats. The reason why you want studio headphones is because those will give you the flattest frequency response. Consumer facing headphones usually have some sort of EQ boost on them, for example, bass boost or other parameters that the manufacturer will add to those headphones to make it sound different, to make the music sound better, which is great when you're listening back to music on Spotify, but terrible when you're trying to mix your music. Because if you mix your music in, let's say, Beats headphones and the bass is boosting and you're thinking, wow, yeah, this bass is knocking, when you listen to that beat with another pair of headphones that isn't bass boosted, you'll realize the bass is severely lacking. So make sure that you have studio headphones with the flattest response that you can get so that you can mix more effectively. You can make better trap beats today from home by using my easy 9-step trap beat making formula in my free music production course. Link down below, go to jcarterray.com/free trap course. This course will take you from making your melody all the way to mastering your beat. It's absolutely free, so you've got nothing to lose except for the opportunity to join this course, because it won't be free and available forever. Join it as soon as possible, link down below, or miss out. It's up to you. The next piece of equipment that you can use is optional, are speakers. Now, of course, if you've got the headphones, then you can mix in headphones, but it's nice to have multiple different audio sources for you to listen to your mix back in, so you can get a more accurate representation of your beat. The more audio sources that you have to play back your music, the better your mix is going to end up. I'm currently using the PreSonus Eris 3.5 Bluetooth speakers, which are all right. I'm not a speaker aficionado to the point where I can recommend them, but I'd recommend them because those are what I'm using right now and they were pretty cheap. So if you're looking for some cheap speakers that work well, I'd suggest those. But if you're looking for someone to tell you about all the technical sides of speakers and this is the best speaker and this is the worst, I'm not the guy in it. I'm just telling you equipment so you can get started on a base budget and not spend too much money. So those are the speakers that I'm using now. Remember, link down below. The next thing you can get, which is optional, is a MIDI keyboard. This is the Novation FL Key MIDI. I personally use a very much bigger MIDI keyboard. My MIDI keyboard's got 88 keys, but it's hard for me to show you that because it's just not gonna work out. My main MIDI keyboard is the Behringer 88 keys MIDI keyboard, but that's no longer available on Amazon for you to purchase. You might be able to find it somewhere else. I like big keys with a lot of space so I can move up and down the octaves. I think that's really important, but I think the minimum you want is about 3 to 4 octaves. This mini keyboard has 2 octaves, so it's terrible for your main production suite, but is great for like traveling production or producing from your bed and stuff like that. But a MIDI keyboard is going to help you make better music because it just gives you that freedom to move around on the keyboard and find notes quicker. And if you learn how to play piano as well, your music production skills are going to skyrocket severely. So I highly suggest getting a MIDI keyboard, but as I said, it's optional. When you're starting out, you don't need one. So this can be something that you get eventually. Thing is, if you get the FL Novation keyboard, this FL Key Mini or the FL Key main one, I would suggest getting the main one. Then you can also get 6 months free of FL Studio. So keep that in mind. You can get 6 months free of FL Studio by getting that MIDI keyboard. So you can kind of cut some costs completely. Obviously, when that 6 months is up, you're going to need to decide whether you're going to get FL Studio or you're going to move somewhere else. But that gives you half a year to completely use FL Studio. They give you the FL Studio Producer Edition, so you can save some money in the meantime and get to grips with using FL Studio when you buy that MIDI keyboard. And that wraps it up for the equipment you need to make beats. It's a very short list. If you got any questions or any other tutorials you want me to make, any other videos you want me to make, let me know in the comment section down below. Check out that video next, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.